Alright, coming in to Red Bull Joyride course 2019. Fresh course build, got a few new features throughout the course. This one's a new one, big dirt jump. Big new flat drop right here. Oh, big gator yank. New techie section coming through right here. Shark fin coming into a nice little trick jump, good for flat spins. We got the toilet bowl feature, seen this in years past, and they brought back the whale tail at the end. Woohoo! There's your Red Bull Joyride 2019 course. My name is Carson Storch, and we're here at the Red Bull Joyride 2019 new course build, and yeah, we're gonna do a little course walk and show you guys what's going on this year. My favorite feature I rode was probably this new dirt-to-dirt double with optional hip lips. Yeah, it's just a nice big floaty jump, and yeah, you got a pump coming into it, carry a bunch of speed, and it's kind of fast, and yeah, it's really fun. To start the course off, we got two different options to ride. There's the flat drop, which has been here for many years to start the Joyride course, and just a nice little step down right here, and I think that was kind of the same start as last year, but yeah, carry on. First drop's probably 12 to 14 down and maybe 10 out. It's kind of a plumb drop, but yeah, it feels nice and comfy and not too big, it's smooth, and yeah, options, it's cool. So after you land the first feature, you have a couple different options to choose from, and there's a nice roller in the middle, which I like. It kind of helps you gauge your speed a little bit, makes it nice and flowy. We got a boner log on the left and an up box on the right, pretty similar size, just, you know, you want to differentiate yourself, maybe the up box will be the better choice, just because it's probably going to be the feature less ridden, but yeah, it's nice big wide landing, and just a good way to start the course. You can kind of change it up and choose your way down on these first two features. Pretty cool. So after you land the up box / boner log, you pretty much just land, carry your speed, and get into this huge left sweet berm, and you kind of just go as fast as you can, and then choose your way down, and it's kind of a big dirt-to-dirt straight double, or if you want to switch it up a little bit, you can hit either a left hip into it or a right hip, so it's pretty cool. There's kind of 3 option lines at the whole first half of the course, and yeah, it'll be pretty sweet to kind of let riders choose a way down and differentiate themselves and stand out, and yeah, it's a pretty fun jump to ride too. It's pretty full on. You just go as fast as you can and pull up, and nice and lofty. It's fun. Pretty tall lip, I'd say maybe 10 feet tall, 11 feet tall, maybe 12, I don't know. But yeah, for a slope course, pretty good sized jump. Kind of feels like a big Fest Series jump, just a little smaller for a smaller bike, but yeah, you can just pull up on this thing and go to the moon, so I'm stoked to see what people do on this. Yeah, so after you land the new feature, that's a dirt-to-dirt double with hip lips as well, you kind of just land and cruise, and you come into this big flat drop that is opted the flight deck, and yeah, it's pretty fun. You just kind of cruise along, and it's a good sized drop. It's probably, if you watched Joyride last year, it's probably the same size as the last feature, maybe like 15 to 18 down and 15 to 18 out, so yeah, it's like pretty quick. You got to go pretty fast off of it, which makes it pretty exciting to do tricks, and you got to land pretty good, and it goes into a pretty tight, steep right berm. You got to carry your speed, so it's pretty technical. You can't really mess up, so which is something I really like about this course. The whole thing, you got to carry as much speed as you can through it, and it's technical, but it is flowy. You just have to pump for everything, which I think is a change from years past where you kind of had to break into a lot of things, which makes it kind of scary to ride and do tricks. So yeah, I think the boys killed it on the build, and pretty much from here down it's a completely new course, and yeah, I'm stoked on it. It was really fun to ride. It's pretty good sized drop for mid-course, and it just goes right into a right berm, and there's not a lot of room for air. But yeah, I did some tricks on it, and it works really well. It's fun. You just got to be on it, and you can't really mess up because you don't want to blow through that berm. And the next feature after this is just a steep right hip, just pretty steep, and you kind of got to carry all the speed you can to get into that and pop it. And after you land that, you got to land it perfect, and there's a shark fin that's pretty techy. Then you land, got to carry your speed again, and hit this step up, nice and steep step up, and pretty much that section from once you land this drop on, it's like pretty technical, kind of feels trailsy, kind of dirt jumpy, and you gotta land everything perfect. So I think it's really gonna change up the way the contest flows and what people do, what tricks they do. It's gonna make it less predictable, and I'm pretty excited to see what people connect together here, because it's tough to ride, and when you're throwing tricks in there, it's going to be pretty tough to, you know, link the dots and make it happen. So yeah, that'll be cool. Flat drop lands right there, and it just goes right into this super steep, sick right berm, and you pretty much just have to go as fast as you can into this hip. It's a pretty steep lip. Coming out of that berm, there's definitely some room to take some pedals, and I was trying not to, but yeah, it's just a big wall of a lip, and landing's pretty steep as well, but it's super fun, super floaty, not that big of a gap. You just kind of go up in the air and nice and lofty. Sure, it's definitely going to change some stuff up. It's not a trick jump, it's pretty technical, but yeah, it's cool. So you land this hip, which you can see it's landing's pretty steep as well. You got to land that good, and I was taking a pedal into the shark fin, and you can see my marks. I'm not riding the whole thing, which would be really hard to do. I'm just kind of chopping it and going up and trying to go high. But I think there's going to be some guys out there, if you get this hip, you land it wide with a bunch of speed, I think you could just hit the shark fin like a full left hip and just come off it and try and blast it, and it's kind of going to be the only way to trick it. Yeah, it's definitely a technical feature and something that's pretty new and hard to ride and hard to carry speed into. So like, yeah, it's gonna switch stuff up for sure. It's gonna separate the men from the boys. So you land the shark fin, and you don't really touch your brakes. You just kind of carry your speed and cruise over this roller berm thing, and then it's just a nice trick jump. And if you carry your speed into it, it's kind of the jump to do your bangers on, I'm pretty sure. And I just did some flat spins, and it's super fun. Lots of air time, you can pop it, and pretty safe jump. And so this is kind of the feature you're going to see the crazy tricks on. If they can connect the dots in here and link up their tricks and carry their speed into this, then this will be kind of the showtime booter. Just a nice tall steep lip, and really good feeling jump. It's just a nice trick jump, and you can go really high on it, you can blast it, and yeah. Then it funnels you into a toilet bowl, like snail looking feature, and which is sweet because it keeps your flow, and you don't really have to brake. You just hit the snail feature and cruise around it. It robs a bunch of speed, which is good, and that leads you into the next feature. So after you land the trick jump here, you cruise into the toilet bowl, and it's kind of like a skipper into a big 270 berm, I guess. And it's pretty sweet because you just land this jump, you don't brake, you just cruise into it and cruise around it and go slow, and you don't really need to brake too much into the last feature, which is yeah, they kind of took it back to the original whale tail that was there for a few years. Pretty cool feature here. Just does a good job of just letting you moderate your speed, and yeah, basically this whole course is super flowy top to bottom, and I think it's way better to have to pump for speed than it is to brake into stuff, and they did a really good job of making it so as soon as you drop in, you don't really do anything. You don't really pedal, you don't really brake, you just kind of pump for things here and there, and makes it a lot more fun to ride. And yeah, I think it's going to be a cool show. It's going to be a lot more unpredictable than the years past, and I think it's good to have, you know, a full change up in the course design, and it's going to be good for slopestyle. And yeah, I'm stoked I got to ride it, and I can't wait to watch all the boys throw down on it. So last year the ending feature was basically a whale tail like this going into a big flat drop, and which is cool, but I think the full-on whale tail with the step down out is kind of like the OG feature to end a slopestyle course, and it's something that Joyride had for a lot of years. And yeah, stoked they brought it back, and they built it really well, and it's really good to ride and really comfy coming out of it. And I think it's going to be perfect for kind of any trick you want to throw out of it. And yeah, and that flat drop that was here last year, that big one, is basically in the middle of the course now, so it definitely spices stuff up, and it's kind of a semi-high risk feature to have mid-course, but I think it's great. The course is new, it's fresh, and it's really fun to ride, and people are gonna kill it. All right, coming in the Red Bull Joyride course 2019.